Are you the person that notices someone is upset before they say a word? You remember birthdays, check that everyone feels included, and sense when the mood in the room has shifted. You step in to help before anyone asks because caring for people comes so natural to you. Others may depend on you for reassurance, advice, practical support, or simply because you always seem to know exactly what they need. If this sounds like you probably feel responsible for making sure everyone's okay and feel guilty when you have to say no, anxious when someone is disappointed, or unsettled when you can't fix others' problems. When being needed becomes the way you feel valued and secure, caring is no longer only an expression of empathy. It's become a way to regulate your self esteem and protect yourself from rejection or disconnection. I'm Dr. Dranitsaris, a psychotherapist, leadership coach, author, MBTI certified practitioner, and co creator of the Striving Styles personality system. This video is part of my series on the shadow side of the feeling function. In this video, I'm focusing on extroverted feeling and the caretaker persona. Extroverted feeling is a dominant mental function for ENFJs and ESFJs. In the Striving Styles personality system, both are called Socializer Striving Styles with a predominant emotional need to be connected. While both prefer extroverted feeling, they gather information using different perceiving functions, so their behavior can look quite different. ENFJs use introverted intuition to understand people, patterns, potential, and what might be developing beneath the surface. They often meet their need to be connected by encouraging growth, helping people understand themselves, and guiding them toward a better future. ESFJs, on the other hand, use introverted sensing to notice practical needs, remember personal details, maintain tradition, and create stability in relationships and groups. They often meet their need to be connected by making sure people are included, supported, comfortable, and cared for in tangible ways. Extroverted feeling gives both ENFJs and ESFJs a natural capacity to read emotional cues, understand how their behavior affects others, create cooperation, and respond to the needs of the people around them. When they're functioning authentically, they can be warm, supportive, inclusive, generous, and deeply attuned to the impact people have on one another. But we're born with two developmental systems, a self-actualizing system and a self-protective system. The self-actualizing system directs energy toward developing the capacities of the authentic self. It allows us to use our natural functions freely while also developing boundaries, emotional awareness, agency, authority, and the ability to express our needs. The self-protective system directs energy toward managing anxiety, maintaining emotional safety, and ensuring that our predominant need is met. When an ENFJ or ESFJ grows up in an environment where connection feels uncertain, approval is conditional, or the emotions of adults dominate the household, extroverted feeling is called upon to help maintain emotional safety. Perhaps one parent is anxious, unhappy, angry, overwhelmed, or emotionally dependent on the child. Perhaps conflict fills the home and the child learns everyone is safer when people are calm. And perhaps the child receives attention and praise when they are helpful, considerate, agreeable, or emotionally available to the parent, but not when they have needs on their own. Energy that would normally support the development of the authentic self is diverted into what I call building the caretaker persona and streamed more into self-protection than self-actualization. The child begins to learn, I'm safe when everyone else is okay. I'm valued when I'm helpful. I stay connected when I don't cause problems or have needs. And if someone else is upset, I need to make it better. The extroverted feeling function itself is not the problem. The adaptive caretaker person uses extroverted feeling to self-regulate by managing the emotional environment and the people in it. As adults, ENFJs and ESFJs are caught in this pattern and may constantly scan other people's faces, tone of voice, moods, and reactions. They notice tension and immediately try and reduce it. They anticipate what people need, take responsibility for making them feel better, and offer help before the other person has even decided whether help is wanted. They can solve problems no one asks them to solve, make excuses for other people's behavior, and carry responsibilities that belong to someone else, or continue giving long after they're depleted. From the inside, this often feels like love, loyalty, responsibility, or simply being a good person. Other people may experience something more complicated. They may feel overhelped, emotionally managed, indebted, or treated as though they can't handle their own lives. They also become dependent because the caretaker persona repeatedly steps in before they have the opportunity to develop their own capacities. This creates a painful cycle. The caretaker person gives more and more, believing that their effort should create closeness and appreciation. Other people become accustomed to receiving, unaware that what the caretaker secretly hopes for in return is equal care. Eventually, the caretaker feels resentful and taken advantage of. They may think, after everything I've done, why doesn't anyone ask me what I need? Why am I the only one giving? Why does everyone take me for granted? But they may never have directly expressed what they needed. They'd hope that other people would notice and reciprocate the same way they do. And this is where burnout and resentment develop. The caretaker persona assumes responsibility for other people's emotional well-being while neglecting their own needs, feelings, and desires. Caretaking regulates self-esteem, so stepping back can feel selfish, uncaring, and dangerous. The person may even feel anxious when others no longer need them because becoming needed has been central to their identity and sense of value, and meeting that need to be connected. The developmental task of ENFJs and ESFJs is to reclaim the energy invested in caretaking and redirect it toward developing the capacities of the authentic self. This means learning that empathy does not require taking responsibility for another person's emotions. It means allowing others to struggle, solve their own problems, and experience the consequences of their choices. It also means noticing the difference between giving freely and giving in order to feel secure, appreciated, indispensable, or protected from rejection or abandonment. An authentic response might sound like, I care about you and I trust you to decide what you need. I can listen without taking over, and I can offer support without abandoning myself. Self-actualization does not require ENFJs and ESFJs to become less warm, generous, or responsive. It means learning they can remain connected while having boundaries, expressing needs, tolerating another person's disappointment, and allowing relationships to become mutual. When extroverted feeling is freed from the grasp of the self-protective persona, it can serve its true purpose, building trust, strengthening relationships, creating cooperation, and helping people feel seen without assuming responsibility for their lives. For more information about this and other MBTI types, read my full article, The Shadow Side of the Feeling Function, to learn more about the Caretaker Persona. If you don't know your MBTI type or striving styles, visit strivingstyles.com and take the assessment to learn your 4-letter personality type, predominant, emotional need, and striving style. If caretaking, over-responsibility, or weak boundaries are affecting your relationships or leadership, contact me about individual sessions, relationship coaching, leadership coaching, or MBTI and Striving Style program for your team. Then look for my next video on introverted feeling in the pleaser persona, where I explore how INFPs and ISFPs may abandon their own needs, preferences, and emotional truth to protect themselves from rejection. Thanks for listening.